Does the English Defence League still exist, and could it be banned in the UK? We're going to read into this explainer from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an explainer from Sky News here with the headline that does the English Defence League still exist and could it be banned in the UK? Now, Angela Rayner says the Home Secretary will be looking at whether the English Defence League should be banned in law, but what, if anything, is left of the organisation in a very different state to when it was founded. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. Now, if by any chance, if someone from the English Defence League or happens to be associated with it or is even a member, please let me know down in the comment section below of that, because if I'm going to be absolutely quite frank, now, does the organisation still exist? I believe it does in some form. I don't know if it still exists in name or not, but here's my 2 cents on this very simple question of whether it should be banned or not. The answer I say is no. And the reason that I say it's no is because you're not going to solve the problem by banning this group. Now, do I agree with their views, with their opinions about Muslims and certain communities and people of certain colour and whatnot? Of course not. I don't approve of this group and of the English Defence League and what they stand for. I don't, because I don't believe that, in my opinion, I don't believe that they share the same so-called English or British values that I do. That's what I believe. I believe that Britain is a multicultural country, and I don't believe for a second that our multiculturalism is breaking down. I simply believe that this is being riled up by politicians and by certain influencers on social media that are poisoning the minds of young people into believing that all their problems in their life is all down to immigrants, when it is not. It is immigrants that have played a fundamental part of our society. They are part and integrational of our society. This idea or this belief that we can simply completely get immigrants. You can't eliminate migrants from our society. It's not possible to do so. It's part of us. It's part of who we are. It's part of our communities. It's embedded in us now. It's not, and the thing is that we should be doing is expressing and showing those who want to come to the UK, that those who want to be a part of the UK, those who want to contribute to the UK, we should be embedding them in our cultures, in our beliefs, in our what it means to be English, what it means to be British, what it means to the values, and what it is to be a part of this so-called Great United Kingdom that we have in ourselves. Instead, what we do is we demeanor them and we talk down on them and we vilify them. What exactly are we hoping to achieve with this, guys? You know, obviously, the time of this recording, there's lots of riots taking place, there's lots of anger taking place, and I'm trying to understand. And here's the thing: what exactly are you hoping to achieve by causing riots, by destroying people's homes, by destroying the police? Yeah, I have my grievances with the police, but what is exactly all these antics and stuff are supposed to achieve? What are they supposed to accomplish? You know, all this rage and all this anger. Yes, we all have problems in our lives. I understand that. I understand that many people of you will understandably feel worse off. Some of you feel that for a long time that you don't feel that perhaps things have not gone the way in life that you wanted them to. It's perfectly understandable. But is everything that has gone wrong in your lives, everything that has happened, is it really all down to immigrants? Do you honestly believe that? Is it just because of what the media are telling you, or what influencers are telling you, or what? Are you actually seeing what is happening on your streets? Are you seeing this? Honestly, it's all down to them? Really? I find it very, very hard for me to understand this, because one of the things that I always try to do here on this channel, I try very hard to put myself in someone else's shoes, to try to understand Why do people feel the way they feel? Why do people act the way they act? And I feel like that these people who are part of these violence, these mobs, it feels like, when I look at it, it just feels like senseless rage and anger. But to those who are there, some of them may not feel like senseless rage or anger. Some of them feel perhaps there is a meaning behind it that I don't understand, or I'm trying to understand. And that understanding is that all their problems, everything that's going wrong with their lives, is all down to migrants, asylum seekers, people who are here in the UK. They feel that everything is all because of them. And let's say, hypothetically, you got rid of them all. Is it going to make your life better? Is it meaning that you're going? You generally think that you're going to get a better wage package, so a wage package, whatever your job is? Do you honestly think yet that everything, all the problems with the healthcare system is going to get fixed by it? Do you honestly think that you're going to get better education? That you're going to have your bins are going to get picked up more quickly? That the roads are going to be more cleaner? That everything is all going to be rosy and perfect? Do you absolutely, honestly believe that? And if that's so, if you generally believe that, please break it down to me. Don't just put it in small comments. Be clear in the comments why you generally think that all your problems revolve just around migrants and immigrants. Because I really do try my very best to understand you. Yeah. But a lot of you just end up just throwing a tantrum and then just start throwing insults and whatnot at me. And I see it even with other YouTubers or people online. And it's like you're not explaining why you're doing what you're doing. This is the thing. And I'm trying to understand here. So help me understand why you're doing what you're doing. As I've said with the English Defence League, do they have a place in society? I feel that they are a minority of society, because I don't feel they represent the true values of what it means to be English and what it means to be British. Because I feel they are a fringe part of society. But I don't feel that banning them is going to solve any issues. It's not going to fix the issue, shall we say, as well. But what's been happening, obviously, with the riots and things recently, people I absolutely am on the side of the police, and I hope that they apprehend those who are causing harm, those who are causing damage, not just damage to property, but damage to officers, damage to people's lives. They have you can't do it and expect to get away with it. You have to face the law, regardless of how bad things are in your life. And everyone has bad, and I know things are bad for people out there. There is no justifiability for senseless violence, guys. Yeah? Sit down, talk about your problems. Yeah? Throwing a brick at a police officer, it's not gonna fix your bills. It's not gonna make a difference about your job. It's not gonna change your livelihood. And it's certainly not gonna do it for the better. Stop and think about what you're doing. So, a wave of violent protests around the country has raised questions about whether the English Defence League, that's the EDL, technically a defunded organisation, should be banned under UK terrorism law. So, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner said the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper will be looking at whether the EDL could be proscribed, banned under UK law. Like I said, I think it's not going to... It will just simply... You ban it under UK law and they will just simply take a different name. They'll have to come under a different organisation, whatnot. That's what I generally believe they will do if it is banned. I don't think it will solve anything, if I'm honest. The Deputy Prime Minister condemned the thuggish behaviour and violent scenes that broke out following false assaults that a suspect in the death of 3 young girls in a knife attack at a Taylor Swift themed dance class was an asylum seeker. Yeah, everyone jumped on the bandwagon and it was misinformation, and they know it. But what is the EDL? Does it exist, and could it be even more proscribed? If an organisation has been proscribed, it means forbidden under UK law. So under the Terrorism Act of 2000, then the Home Secretary may proscribe an organisation if they believe it is concerned with terrorism and is proportionate to do so. Under the Act, terrorism means the use of threat of action which involves serious violence against a person, serious damage to property, endangers a person's life, or creates a risk to life to influence the government or intimidate the public. It must also be carried out with the aim to advance a political, religion, racial, or ideological cause. What is the EDL and what does it believe? Well, the EDL was founded in 2009, experienced its heyday in 2011. It was established in London. The group formed around several football hooligan films protesting the presence of young Islamic groups in Luton. Tommy Robinson, his real name Stephen Yaki Lennon, a former member of the BNP who had a criminal conviction for assault, became the group's de facto leader shortly after it was formed. Ideologically, it sat on the far right of British politics, rejecting the idea that Muslims can truly be English, while promoting Islam as a threat to European values and blaming the perceived decline in English culture on the high immigration rates. It distinguishes itself from traditional far rights by rejecting biological racism, anti-Semitism, and homophobia, evidenced by the existence of subgroups including Jewish, Sikh, and LGBT divisions. Yeah, so they basically the premise that they have here is what they're stating here is that unless you are a white, pure white British person, you are not wanted in this. You are not wanted in any way, shape, or form. That's what this group is basically implying. Even though that you have been born, raised, and lived your whole life in Britain, doesn't matter that your skin color is different. You will be treated as differently. That's their premise. Which is why you can't. Which is why, because of my values and what I believe in, I can't associate myself with the EDL because of my values and what I believe. But like I said, if you're somebody who truly believes this, what exactly this is like almost like calling it. It's almost going as far as ethnic cleansing. That's how dangerous this tribe is. And it's just wrong on every single level, guys. It really, really is. The group adopted the slogan, "Not racist, not violence, just no longer silent," and claimed to be standing up for the white working class. Yet, despite this messaging, racist chants continue to ring out at EDL rallies. Ivan Humble, a former EDL member, told Sky News that once he joined the group, he found a sense of belonging. The decline of the EDL mirrors that of the BNP, which saw significant support in 2010 elections, that has since faded into electoral obscurity. The profile of the EDF rose dramatically between 2010 and 2013, where it soon began to lose momentum, partly due to fighting among the group's different factions. The group was then revealed to have links to the Norwegian far-right activist Andreas Behring-Breivik, the perpetrator of the series of bombings and shooting attacks in July 2011 that killed 77 people. In December 2011, 2 EFL supporters were convicted of plotting to bomb a mosque in Stoke-on-Trent. By 2013, the number of members attending rallies was in decline, although the group did experience a brief resurgence in the wake of the murder of British Army soldier Lee Rigby. Robertson left the organisation the same year amid fears he could not control the group's more violent followers. By 2017, the EDL was still making headlines, but this time it was because of a march was called off after just 6 people had turned up. This speaks a lot about the kind of group when just 6 people turn up to a rally that you're calling. These days, anti-racism groups Hope Not Hate said it considers the organisation as non-existent, as does Robinson, the former founder himself. Robinson said on X, "These riots are by local residents fed up and nothing to do with the EFL, which closed down over a decade ago." But although the organisation is now officially considered defunded, the sentiments feeling it, anger and immigration at the heart of it have remained. Merseyside police said supporters of the EFL appeared prominent in the Southport disorder after rioters clashed with police outside the mosque on Tuesday night. Misinformation peddled by the far right suggested that a 17-year-old arrested in connection with the night attack was a Muslim immigrant who had arrived by boat in the UK. That was not true. Labour MP for Sunderland Central Lewis Ackelson said flags on the street bores to reference the North East infidels, a Nazi, an EFL offshoot from the North East chapter of what was the EDL. Images online show flags of the North East infidels present on Friday's clashes. Mr. Atkinson said individuals personally involved with the EDL are still out there and need to be monitored by police. Yeah, this was a famous one where this woman basically stood up in front of all the Sadiq Khan's face down the EDFL. Yeah, I remember that. Just showing complete and sheer defiance from her, like she's not going anywhere. Fair play to her. So could the EDL be proscribed? This is something the Home Secretary appears to be looking into, but given the organisation is officially defunct, it is unclear what difference it would make. This is my point. Like, it's not going to change anything. However, these rules are too alienist, which means that if the government believes the EFL is to be operating under a different name, it too could be banned. You may end up missing the target if you proscribe the organisation, said Lord Wortley, a government advisor on political violence. The priority, he said, should be going after individual ringleaders who are currently stirring things up and moving from area to area. If proscription can be seen to be part of an effective tool in enabling us to get to those individuals, then yes, let's try and do it quickly. But because of the complications, I'm not sure whether it is the first thing you go to. Yes, it's targeting the ringleaders and individuals. This is the main thing with regards to the violence. But just focus a bit more on the EDL, guys. I mean, I don't think it's going to make, like I said, I just don't think it's going to make a difference. It may do in some places, maybe potentially, but yeah, like I said, it will take up another form, a different name or whatnot. But that, unfortunately, there are people in society like this, unfortunately, and there are many people, obviously, and we've seen this. A lot of young people are probably falling into this trap as well because they believe that all their problems revolve around immigration. I think yes, immigration is a factor in every single society, but it is not the be-all to end-all to all your problems. It's not going to fix everything, guys. It's really not. Again, people need to get out of this mindset that all their problems are around immigrants. It's really, really not. It really is down to government at the end of the day. And we've had 14 years of the same political party. We had austerity. We had Brexit. We don't think, that these played a factor. You don't think, that losing police stations, the cutting back on public services, less libraries, less police stations, less things, less community centres. You don't think any of that might be the reasons why things are a bit worse off? Just, again, ask yourself these questions. Is really all your problems by immigrants, by migrants, by people of different colour, when some of these people have actually done so much good for the UK? Again, I will always try to put myself in other people's shoes, but I am struggling with this one to understand why people think these ways. But go ahead, please. The comments are open. As long as you're not going to be insulting and rude, your comment won't get removed then. But be honest and tell me what you guys honestly think about all this. Tell me what you think about the English Defence League, Tommy Robinson, the recent riots. Let me know your thoughts and more in the comments section down below. As long as you're not rude or anything, your comments should appear. But if you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so other people are notified of this video. And if you like the content and want to see more, please consider subscribing because it does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. Or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.